in fact, go live, and then I'll say a little hello or something to everyone who's there. Let's see. So let's keep on rocking. Be the Thor. We got AZN here. Let's take a look at AZN. All right. Let's see. Spread. Okay. L2. Structure not fantastic. AZN is AstraZeneca. We've traded this before, that's for sure. Overall pre-market action does not look fantastic. But we're up. So just gonna take a 2 seconds. Hi, everybody. Go for it. All right. So cool. Thank you, Norm. Hello, everybody in YouTube land. You've probably seen me do some recaps. My name's Thor Young. I'm a moderator here at Bear Bull Traders. I wanted to start off by saying congratulations to our guy Carlos. Today is his baby's first birthday. So he is not here today because he is doing the important thing, which is spending time with his family. And don't we all want to become day traders so that we can have more flexibility in our schedule so that we can spend time with our family? So it's going to be me. I'm going to be running through some of the pre-market stuff. Definitely not going to be as fancy as Carlos does it because I'm not Carlos and he's way fancy. So I like it. But I will go ahead and I'm going to try and run through some of the gappers. We've gotten through a few. We're kind of trying to move through some of this and see if we can't find some decent stocks to look at. Today certainly seems to be a lot calmer of a day yesterday as far as the market goes. Doesn't look quite as like there's as much volume after yesterday and all of the kind of hype yesterday. Today may be more of a like kind of a calm day for the market. And keep that in mind. That means we might not get the big fast moves we're looking for. Today might be kind of more of a slower play kind of day. So we were just going through AZN. I'm going to run through a couple of these as quickly as I can, and then I'm going to get back into the chat and I'll pull some stuff from there. And then if anyone comes over. Also, since we're talking birthdays, just wanted to throw a little All Americana happy birthday to the USMC. Semper Fi, brothers. So appreciate all of what you do. So as we're going through AZ, AZ does have some stuff going on. Now they do have some a new asthma treatment going on, so that might help. I'm getting a little support from the BBT chat. They're going to be my news service today, which is amazing. Thanks for all the help. AZ in the pre-market certainly has a bit of a move up. We can see kind of here in the 5-minute that we did certainly have a big push. And now we've been kind of consolidating up a bit, which does look good. Only concern here is the lack of volume in the pre-market. Things are a little sporadic and they're kind of bouncing through the spread a little bit. So it'd be nice to see AZN kind of tighten things up a little bit and have some more regular volume come in for a good day trade. But we'll see what's how we get going. So let's check out Plug. Plug's been a decent enough trader. I know I've had a couple of decent trades on Plug as of recent. Let's hit the daily on it first. As you can see, Plug, let's see, weekly. We all-time highs on Plug? Well, in relevance, we are. If we're not, yeah, it looks like we're all-time highs on Plug. So we're just kind of going out on it. Now, Plug has had some decent moves yesterday. Had this really nice kind of low volume ABCD on the daily. It did big volume yesterday, now breaking up. So certainly some good things to do here, but we are really extended already, obviously, without a whole lot of daily levels that we can pull from. So in this instance, when that happens to me, I like to look for key pre-market support areas. So you'll be able to notice if you pop back here, we kind of have this ascending pattern that pushed in here and broke. That's nice. Notice here we have VPOC here, which is the volume price of control. That's showing us where the most shares over time were exchanged. And notice they came right here at the top of the TFL line. We'll explain that someday. But you can see we did a retest of that area before moving back up. So you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and mark VPOC there as well and maybe move that up. And that at least gives us a little bit to work with pre-market. After that, it's going to be pre-market high and up. And then you'll just have to play the level 2. and the volume after that, won't you? Because we won't have any levels. So next we're gonna rock into INO. Did I skip Neo? If not, I will get to Neo. I don't see it on the gap, but I will cover Neo for sure. Checking out INO. INO not looking too fantastic in the pre-market. Another pharma. Let's see. Daily, I'm definitely not a fan of the daily right now. The only thing that I do find very interesting is this right here. You'll notice that we have pushed down here, which is good, but notice this pop in volume that we've got going on here. So we certainly came down into 850 or something like that, and someone scooped a whole bunch of shares. Because remember, if they're selling, there's buying, you know, so you see a lot of volume. Somebody was willing to absorb those shares. So I do find that interesting. So I don't know if INO has any specific news, but INO may be a bounce off of these lower levels here sometime in the near future. All right, let's see. We did plug LLY. You guys like LLY at all? Right on. Okay. Well, so that could be a mixed bag. So you don't know what INO could do there. It looked like a lot of shares went through yesterday. So maybe that was the anticipation of maybe someone was hoping for a little bit better of an earnings report. Let's see here. All right. So LLY, which is Eli Lilly and Company. Level 2, I mean, it is $148 stock, but the level 2 looks pretty broken. When I say that, I mean there's lots of gaps in it. So you can go from like 148 to 147.99, a 1 cent spread, to all of a sudden a 40-cent spread or a 60-cent spread. Makes risk management really, really difficult to deal with. So it looks like it's got some emergency approval for a COVID treatment. So that's what's got it in the news. But it's going to be a really hard one to trade. So I would wait for the spread on this to narrow a little bit before you get into it. But if you do get into it, we've got some pretty, we got this big push up here up to 152. That was pretty obvious on big volume. Let's see here. Kind of got some upper level resistance right around there. You can see we have the top of this candle, body close, top of this candle. So which, that works about right, $3 and change. And then you would have the top there. So if you got really going and this thing break out, for me personally, I think what you're really going to have to worry about is going to be 152. If this thing can get up and go through 152, you've got the 100 SMA on the daily here. That would signify a trend change potentially for everyone. We're already above the 50. So which that could get us going in the right direction for well. But keep in mind, once again, I do want to say the spread on it and the L2 construction, not very good for day trading. So I would wait for more volume to come in on this thing and for it to clearly and cleanly pick a direction before you jump into it. All right, let's see here. Taking a quick look at Beyond real quick, just seeing what's going on with it. All right, let's see here. All right, next. mRNA looking interesting. Seems like we've got a lot of stocks that are in this pharma region, if you will. And they all seem to be gapping up pretty well. Let's see, any specific news on mNRA from the chat? 1 minute looks like we're pushing up. We're back up to the top of this range on the daily. We did have a nice amount of volume yesterday, but look how flat it closed. How interesting is that? So most of the volume must have came in at a specific, a very close price level. So we'll keep an eye on that. Other areas for MNRA, if we break out, you've got some pretty obvious spots up here. Most specifically, I think this really stands out right up in here. All these wicks and body closes and everything right around 83.40. That certainly seems quite interesting, to say the least. All right, going down here, Piton. Let's check out a little Piton. See how they're doing today. Piton's been kind of losing it a little bit. I think, there's a lot of these stocks that are doing well with the new vaccine news coming out and talking about that kind of a thing. But there are some stocks that actually suffer when that kind of news comes out, right? And that's stocks like Piton. Piton's business model was really, really helped by the fact that people couldn't go out and do stuff. So you had to buy a bike, you had to get your home fitness going on. And that really has spawned a new home fitness craze. But I think with all the news of vaccine coming out, everyone's going to potentially reemerge, right, from that. And in that process, if all of the vaccine stuff comes out, PFE 90%, efficiency or efficacy rate, and all of those things work. Wouldn't that be very, very interesting to see how these kind of stocks, right, are going to respond to that? Because many people, like some of our mentors in the tab, it's not that Piton's not fantastic, but if you had a choice, you'd rather ride your bike outside, right? If it's raining, sure, Piton, but otherwise, I think it's a one that specifically benefited from the COVID news. Other stock out there, just for a little trivia, killer stock that crushed during COVID, Tupperware. If there was a stock to buy at the beginning of COVID, it was Tupperware. It went from like $1 to like $30 something over the course of COVID. So let's keep looking here at some of these down here. Let's see, DHI, anything interesting there? DHI also pushing down. This is DR Horton. Anything going on with DR Horton, y'all? Looks like we had a big press down yesterday that slammed right down to $65. That's not good. Was it earnings? Was the earnings yesterday or today? It's slammed down here, and then you see it's pushed back up here. We've got some consolidation here at 67. But I would be look at how we kind of have this lower level here and this lower before it retraced 100 SMA. Maybe squeezes back up to 68, but that was a big volume move down. The ATR on it was good. So you're talking 7.4 million shares to the downside, and we closed heavy to the downside. So that's not fantastic. So looking at the daily or at the 1 minute, however, just looking for flow, you can see yesterday we had just a big sell-off. Now we're kind of pushing up, but the volume very broken. Would be very hard to do that. L2 not so bad, but you need some volume and you need this thing to pick a direction before it's going to be tradable, I would think. All right, LOGI. This is Logitech, right? So Logitech, pre-market, not good. Not liking that at all. It isn't on SSR. L2 also not fantastic. Why I'm saying not fantastic is it's a what I call a broken L2, which means as you're looking down the ladder, instead of seeing even increments of the bid-ask spread, you see 1 cent, 3 cent, 10 cent, 20 cent. You see all these different intervals all over the place. For me personally, managing risk in a stock that is in that condition is virtually impossible because you could be going long with the 10 cent risk, not realizing you've got a 20 cent gap underneath you. So when your market order triggers, you get filled, you take triple your loss in slippage, right? And then that's not good, right? So that's why we don't want to have these broken L2s. LOGI, not liking it, but otherwise, let's check the daily. Big sell-off yesterday after a huge gap. And then now pressing down here. So yeah, not great for Logi, that's for sure. I probably wouldn't throw that on the list. That's right. Semper Fi to my brothers in the Marines. All right, so let's rock over to DHI daily. Looking had that hard push, pressing down again. I think we looked at that one already. Retrace, maybe fall. Oh, it must have moved in its location on the list. Haha, that's why everything's moving around on me. Okay, so that's most of the gap down. Oh, Bud just popped in here. Let's see what happened to Bud. Bud getting a little gap up. We got some earnings on Bud Anheuser. So it looks like daily's not fantastic on Bud. What I mean is look at the average trading range on a normal day. I mean, with all of these gaps in between. So what this stock likes to do is it likes to move after hours and then not trade well during the day. Right? Yeah. Exactly. So I'm not seeing anything I really like on Bud in the daily. With a daily chart like this, even if it's got some kind of catalyst and it's gapping, I probably wouldn't be able to play it. But these are exactly the kind of stocks you want to stay away from. So, and like I said, you'll notice you get these super narrow trading ranges and then gaps. So this means anytime this thing does anything, it's happening after hours, which if it's a Chinese back, that kind of makes a lot of sense for me because probably when their markets open is when most of the stuff is going on. So let's go over to the gap down. So I've been keeping an eye on BYND today. BYND, as you guys know, has had just a rough day, to say the least. It's really had a rough couple of months, and it just seems like it's been kind of one bad news thing after another for this company lately. And I think that concept has just finally kind of come to roost on them. And now BYND is a little bit of a cult stock. So there are a lot of people that really follow this stock and kind of like a Tesla or something like that, that they may not be as concerned with the underlying fundamentals. So they may see 115, 120 as being just an absolutely fantastic place to buy in and get a fresh position. This stock did have a big consolidation range here, and you notice we're right down here where this retest was after we broke out into this new range. So it will be interesting to see what BYND does here. Do we have kind of kind of a parabolic reversal, if you will, to to the other side because of this hard, quick gap down? Will this be seen as a good opportunity to get in, or are people going to completely panic and throw away all of their shares and get out as quickly as possible? So either way, BYND will have plenty of momentum this morning. So it'll be very interesting to see what direction it goes and which way it does it. I'm gonna go to ACB. ACB Aurora Cannabis has been trading along with the pot stocks, or the cannabis sector, as we call it. Now, what's been interesting is there's lots of catalysts behind this. Lots during the election season, there were an absolute ton of states that legalized or went rec, and lots of good things for the cannabis industry going on in there, plus some potential policy changes in the future that could help them. You never know. So it looks pretty good for them. So they've seen a little bit of a rally, but as you can see now, ACB daily, let me get rid of some of my levels that I've been, because I've actually traded ACB a few times in the past couple days. Notice ACB, we had this big gap and then a big push. After that, we stretched to 1450, but on significantly less volume, right? And that is something that we need to pay attention to, right? We had this big move here on a bunch of volume, but now we've sold back off on less volume and we're dropping. As long as we don't get too much volume for the downside, we're probably okay for a bounce somewhere around 850. But I would not just get crazy long on ACB. I would wait for it to pick a direction, and make sure it's going to do something that you can work with, right? So let's check it out on the daily. On the daily, you can see or on the minute, we're trending a little weak. Yeah, Norm? Not at all. I wish I did, guys. There you go. Yeah, I'll leave it up there for a minute, anyone. You can go ahead and screenshot it if you want to get a good copy of it. If you're in the chat room, don't forget, you can also click over to the BBT scanners and see them. But if you're on YouTube, this is for you. Hey, thanks, Norm. I think that's really important, guys. I mean, decorum, all where we are. I mean, this is a thing we do. The pre-market show isn't something that you're getting we're charging you guys for. It's just we're putting it out there. It's information we think is valuable. We like to have our members, and as you've seen today, it's good to have it as a backup in case the site has a little bit of issues. But be nice to our guy Norm out there on YouTube. Don't make him work too hard blocking your comments. Please be respectful. I would certainly appreciate that very much if that has any weight to the conversation at all. So I'm going to leave this up here for just a minute. I'm just going to take a second just to kind of, talk about, we're on YouTube here. Don't forget, in the BBT site, everyone, you're all trying, you're getting in here. We're starting to build the room up a little bit, but for anyone who's watching through YouTube, just keep trying to get in and you'll probably get in there quickly enough. I wish I had the slides. I could run announcements real quick. So I can do a couple of them from memory, though. Yeah, I think so. Nice. Exactly. And then for anyone else, just so you know, we're always doing our trade of the day competition out there. So, if you guys have a good trade today or one that you really, really like that you think is just, you really want to show it off, mark it up, make it look nice, submit it on Twitter. Make sure you tag Norm at NormBBT, Mike, which I believe is at Mike BBT. And then, you can tag me on it at Thor Young. And Andrew at Bear Bull Traders. And then what we'll do is we're going to put you in the running. We're going to take a look at it. If it ends up being selected, you'll be in the running for the trade of the week. Get the trade of the week, then always cool stuff for you. So, all right. So I'm going to pull the gappers down for a minute here, and let's go through a few more stocks that everyone wants to look at. What do you, any specific call out since we're getting down to the last few 10 minutes that you guys would like to look at? I'm seeing, looks like Delta and JD. So we're talking travel sector, right? Travel sector obviously is going to likely see a boost from good COVID news. So it'd be nice to see that. Delta has been selling off quite a bit in the pre-market. Looks like it's trying to find a bit of a bottom here. On the daily chart, big gap yesterday with a ton of volume. But we are really close to some pretty obvious support areas if it comes back down to it. So, look at this hit right here off of this line. Look at this wick here. So let's keep an eye on that. As this thing sells off a bit, maybe look for $35 as a place where you could potentially, get things set up for you. All right, lots of volume on that day. Let's check JD real quick. JD.com, big sell-off yesterday on pretty good volume. We had a push up and a gap. JD's not my favorite trading stock. Full disclosure. Notice the pre-market here, very indecisive. Now we are getting a little volume in direction, but I would really need to see JD open up and do a little bit better. JD was a beautiful stock to trade back when it was in this range. When it was a $30 stock or a $35 stock, I found it very fun to trade. Since then, not so much. It seems to give me a lot of trouble these days. CCL, AAL, Tesla, and BA. CCL, another one of our COVID-friendly stocks, has had a rough time. As many of you know in the chat room, I made a living shorting CCL during COVID. I love you, CCL. I owe you a cruise, and we will do that soon. But you can see here that CCL has been caught in just this beat up range forever. I mean, just a half a year. This is just where it's been. But now that we've got some vaccine potential news, notice, we had a bit of a gap tonight. So CCL, this week has had a real nice gap. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's see what it did yesterday. Yeah, big volume. Now, the thing I don't like is that we did this big gap here, and then we did this volume on a narrow range. That's always frustrating because you basically, all of the move happens after hours. But notice we're right back here at the top of the range, so which is this range it's been kind of playing and chopping. So this is going to be the area you're going to keep your eye on, especially as you can see pre-market low is sitting right at the top of these wicks. So I would keep an eye on this daily range and pre-market low. If CCL sells off and holds this area and the market looks strong, then that could certainly be a long point. If it loses that area, then you're going to be losing yesterday's open, right? So there's no reason for it not to come back down, test the inside of this range, and see if it can fill this gap. So don't just be long biased on it. But if things go, well, it could happen. We certainly are having some more volume right now to the downside. As you can see, we're kind of pressing this pre-market low. Here we go. We're going to actually test these levels now. Look at that thing go. Big volume here. This actually could be a big buy-in. We'll see what happens. Wow. CCL just woke up. Look at that. 500,000 shares just went through. We're hitting previous daily levels like no one's business. So CCL obviously gonna have some play to it today. Only 15 minutes till the open, and we've got that going on, right? So very interesting. Let's see what happens if we get a bounce off of this big buy-in. In the meantime, AAL also rolling over a titch in the pre-market. Not to be totally surprised, the SPY right now not looking insanely strong, right? So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But otherwise, you can see AAL. We are getting a kind of a volume pop here as well, so it'll be interesting to see. But right now, maybe get a squeeze back to VWAP, then see if it settles up and becomes weak or strong. This one will be, you have to be a little bit careful with the open. Right now, certainly looks like it's trending weaker, but we're right near this sell-off level right here, so we'll see if we hold. So, and I got a daily level marked here at 1270. I think I pulled that out of, let's see here. Yeah, I pulled that out of this range right up here, the bottom of this range. Split this one here, kind of a pivot. Tesla. Tesla on the daily. Gap down, pressed back up into the range. So that's good, at least as far as pre-market goes. It's certainly not closing heavy down in pre-market. Had quite a sell-off yesterday, but nothing too concerning. The amount of retracement seems relatively healthy for Tesla to move. So we'll just see how it goes. It did bounce off of 395, so it'll be interesting to see how it interacts with this 400 to 390 level area if it starts to get weak. Notice we've got lots of downside wick here, testing this 406, 407 range right here. Not so precise, but that might hold up somewhere right in here. Right, that might be a key area to look at. On the pre-market, we do have nice pre-market movement, pushing up with some good volume. So Tesla does seem like it's got some attention today, which is great. All right, and then BA. Looks like BA is selling off a bit. Looks like the airlines in general, travel sector in general, is giving it up a little bit this morning, probably because of the big day yesterday that a lot of them had. Let's see. Yeah, you can see here. Look at this gap. Again, just like all these other travel sector stocks we've been looking at, big gap after hours, and then just this narrow consolidation, right? That's happened right there. So we're gonna have to be careful with this one. See how we hold up, and then go through there. Welcome everyone who's getting into the room. I've noticed a few more numbers starting to tick in here now, so that's good. Maybe we're getting the chat room issues resolved. So because it looks like our numbers are coming in quite nicely. So good morning, everybody. Hopefully you've been following on YouTube so that you can see kind of what we've had going on. So good to see everybody. I'll be shutting off here in a second, and then I'll let hopefully we'll have someone coming in for the open. Are there any other stocks that I didn't hit that you guys would particularly like to see this morning covered through? I've got a couple more minutes I'll throw in here, and then we'll have everyone else coming in. Neo?
Thor, I
Yes,
was just gonna say, I'm gonna go through real quick the mods watch list that we have so far. You have not yet, correct?
Cool. No,
Okay.
not yet.
So a lot of us have been working on this tech issue, so it's limited today. Mike B's watching the break high a day scanner. He's looking for 5 o'clock p.m. this evening too, so he can start getting drunk for Marine Corps birthday. Then Eamon is watch list is Neo. So let me be straight. NIO and INO both beyond, and then secondary watch list is Plug, Baba, CGC, and Piton. And that's what I got for the moment.
And we got Peter just chimed in. Peter's got AMD, and he's checking out the travel sector, cruise lines and airlines, and then secondary, he's going to check out the fake meat, the fake exercise, and the NTLRY.
Yes, we're having technical issues. The site just started becoming a little bit better, so if you're a BBT member watching on YouTube, give it another shot. You should be able to maybe get in now.
Yeah, it seems like a lot more people are getting in better, so that's awesome. So thanks, Peter B. My watch list today, I'm definitely going to be watching Beyond Meat, probably Piton. I want to also keep an eye on the travel sectors, and then maybe for fun, Neo. Neo's had some really clean trades and some really strong pushes with nice ATR the past couple of days. So there might be something to find in there. But for me, the important thing that I'm going to do is I don't want to be too aggressive today. I feel like the stock market does not look like, yesterday it was a good day to be aggressive because the volatility in the market, made that a good thing today. Today, I don't see quite the same kind of direction or move. So I'm going to be a little less aggressive with my day today. Probably wait a few minutes and wait for like a nice reversal or a continuation, something like that. All right, guys. Quick peek at FSR. I'm gonna go ahead and kill my cam for now. And then I'll look at FSR. Right? Is that what you said? FSR. FSR is Fisker Inc. I like it. It's got a little pre-market action. It's got some volume, so that's good. Let's check the daily. Strong move yesterday in the daily. This is a recent IPO, right? Looks like.
It was.
So we opened up strong on the IPO, did a low consolidation ABC and broke. It's a SPAC. Okay.
Yeah. But it's
a SPAC, so maybe less interested.
It was now, but it's merged. So.
So keep that in mind when you're trading it. Obviously, that it's what is it? Stuff posing as companies. It's like spam. So keep that in mind with FSR. But I mean, it does have some movement and volume today. That's for sure. All right, looks like the room is good. Anyone else on YouTube that's a BBT member? Looks like the room is wide open because we're getting a lot of people in now. So, but FSR again, big volume push yesterday on the daily. So after consolidation, might be the thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kill my screen for now. So that'll put the scanners and the gappers back up. So anybody who wants to see what the current active gapper is, you'll be able to see that. And for everybody out there in YouTube land and in the room, thank you so much for being patient and with the glitches this morning, and doing as well as you can. I certainly appreciate that. And hopefully you still got some good content this morning. But otherwise, everyone have a great trading. Like I said, I think today's the day to be patient, and as always, keep it green.
Yeah, guys, take care, trade safe. Apologize for the technical issues once again. If you're a member and you're watching on YouTube, keep trying to hop in. Room seems to be working a little bit better now. We'll keep this stream going for a little bit, but just markets kind of in an uncertain place after a huge run up over the last several days. Yesterday, things were up huge at the open, huge gap, and then sold off about half of it. So, just be careful and keep that in mind. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words. Yes, Nasdaq did dump yesterday, Karate.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Norm.
Brian, good morning.
I just got in myself. It's been a bit of a challenge here. So unfortunately, this is what we talk about in the room. Sometimes you have to come in mentally prepared. And so if you've been fighting to get into the room, or, things, so you're mentally off your game a little bit, maybe at this point. So just be careful, be aware of that. So when we go into the trading day, we want to be mentally prepared completely, because we are going to war here. So just take note of where you are. We talk about mindfulness, etc. So just keep that in mind. How are you feeling this morning after fighting to get into the room? Because that was a pain for me, for sure. So anyway, let's take a look. Actually, my watch list looks a lot like Tiffany's. I've got Beyond. I'm looking at CCL, AAL. I'm looking at DraftKings, DKNG, Donkey Kong. And that's about it. So I'm just going to try to focus here. And find my mouse. There it is. Yeah, we've got some weird stuff going on with the market. I mean, it's how often do you come in a day where the Qs are down and the small caps are up. Got the small caps up right now. So it's kind of a strange day indeed. So I'll just put up my watch list. And as we get closer to the open, I'll start focusing on one or two stocks. And
Good morning, good sir.
Hey, good morning.
Got a few minutes till the open here. Good times.
Yes, sir. Good times.
Glad you made it in.
Yeah, yeah. Bit of a fight. Yeah. I'm just, like I said, just settling down here and just watching some of the moves. CCL seems to have put in a bottom. Yeah, meds could be interesting. It's really just selling off. I did look at meds, AL coming back up to the VWAP.
Got some volume coming in on Beyond Meat. Squeezing back up to VWAP.
I was thinking there might be a rising devil trade here and beyond, but at this point,
it's really gapped down. It could do a really
Yeah.
big squeeze. I mean, you could have a lot of shorts in from like 170 or 180 that might be really happy to cover their positions out right now.
and I'm not really liking the price action for a rising devil trade. It's kind of sticking right at the VWAP. So I'll be keeping an eye on that as we get closer to the open. Just to see where it goes. Certainly, if it's trading like it is now, which it seems to be actually wanting to go above the VWAP. If it's trading like above the VWAP, it definitely disqualifies itself as a rising devil trade. And I've actually found that these ones that gapped out and then go into the open above the VWAP actually do what Thor just mentioned. They tend to squeeze. So just be cognizant of that fact. They will go higher, not drop like we had. We had that great move yesterday on. Can't even remember what it was now. It's too early in the morning.
True story.
Yeah. Piton. Yeah.
All right, market open.
Market is open. All right. Nothing for me yet. Neo just pulling back here. Just watching Neo right now.
Partial Beyond Meat.
Oh, you're going. Yeah, it's squeezing. Shit. Get that.
I went long. I was already long in Pete from pre-market, so I just hadn't taken a partial yet. So I was just holding it into the open. I figured it would do that squeeze. So even if that's all I get, whatever. My entry is 116.60.
Nice, nice. Wow, you got a great entry on that too. For a pre-market entry, nice.
Peter's rocking AMD. All right, let's see what happens here on my BYND. Is it going to hold up, or are we going to come down and be done with it?
Okay. I'm still looking at Neo, watching CCL selling off. Yeah, I am. SPY's coming back up here.
Yeah, SPY's moving.
Still no trade. Still no trade for me. Not really. Nothing's moving much. Let's see, what do we got here? Peloton's moving. IWM's dropping.
Out the rest of my BYND for now.
Yeah, it's looking weak now. Looking at CCL, thinking about taking a long here. Yeah, I'm going to go long here. CCL looks like a bit of a double bottom in at 1814. Just selling some here. $27. You got to fill at 32. That doesn't happen very often. What happened there? All right.
Great
That's
call,
a
Brian.
decent trade. Decent trade.
No, I'm with
yeah.
you on CCL. I went long at 18.20. I just took a partial.
Nice.
Solid call
Nice.
there. They can break up through this opening range right here, 1860. This thing could light up and go for VWAP.
Yeah. Come on.
It's not 100% sure yet.
Yeah, I know. I've just taken more off here just because I'm not 100% sure, but
Here we go. New high.
here we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Come on. It's waiting for the market.
Yeah, Neo's moving.
AMD just broke down hard. CGC, lots of them pop pulling down. CCL trying to hold though.
Okay, I got in on Neo and 44.89. Here we go. Just selling.
Nice.
Yeah, selling.
Neo
selling
did its
some,
usual thing. It waited 3 minutes to open.
Yep. Neo looking good. Looking good. Yeah, I'm all out of CCL. Neo's pulling back now. Yeah, I'm all out of Neo. I got a partial through that 45. Just took the rest
Bail
off.
on the rest of my CCL.
Yeah, me too. I'm out of that. It's not.
Got a good partial on it at least.
Yeah, I got out most of it. It was good. That was a decent trade. On the double bottom, not sure what Neo's going to do here. What are you going to do, Neo? It looks weak to me. So it looks like it's struggling. What's a SPY doing? SPY took a bit of a dump there.
Yeah, big dump.
Yeah.
That's what kept CCL from doing anything fun.
Yes, boss.
SPY.
Okay. Well, he was pulling back here. See how much of a pullback we get. I might look at a long. Oh, CCL's again looking like it's maybe it's wedging anyway. It's doing a pennant. See which way it breaks. Just keeping an eye on CCL. Looks like it wants to break out of this higher. I'm back long CCL.
I'm back long BYND.
BYND looks nice. Trying to come back up there. All right, okay, CCL selling.
Got a little partial on it at VWAP. Now I'm going to hold and see if it loses 1650, I'll bail.
Let's see if we can get up to the VWAP on CCL this time. It's at 87, 1887.
Kyle. I know we're low energy today.
We're
not
supposed
getting
to
any
be low
hoorahs just
energy.
yet.
No, apparently that's some people just don't like that enthusiasm. So we're trying to keep a lid on it today.
Yeah, just trying to keep
No.
things a little more. I'm a little more Ben Stein today.
Yeah. And Norm's already on Beyond the Meat. We know how much Norm hates Beyond the Meat.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Norm woke up this morning with a smile on his face.
Yeah. Norm's a Texas boy. I'm looking at CCL here. Beyond the Meat.
Say Norm's
So
in Texas, and I grew up in Northwest Texas.
I have partialed on it, but I'm not happy here now. Gonna get out some more here, just because I'm not liking the price action. So down to a quarter size. See if it holds here. Yeah, Beyond is looking like it might want to move here, eh?
I was like, come on, come on.
It's
really struggling at VWAP right now, but if this thing gets up and gets this could be fun.
Yeah, it could really squeeze. What is the short interest on that? Do you know? On Beyond.
DOS in the setup doesn't really show it that well. It says 7.85 million, and then what? Doesn't really show it very well in DOS. I don't think 15%. I think Patrick just said 15 on BYND. Norm. Piton is dumping. Neo dumped. Everything dumped. Market dumped.
Yeah, SPY is dropping here. SPY is dropping. Yeah, CCL rolled over. Should have maybe shorted it there because I wasn't sure which way it was going. It looked like it was going to break out.
Well, its opening minute was like a hammer, although a red hammer. It was still a hammer, but then it made that new low and broke down. Too bad. Hopefully, Peter shorted AMD.
Beyond is really looking weak here, eh? You're right back down.
Yeah, I had to bail. I took one more position at like 17th. I got squeezed through VWAP partial and then stopped out at break even.
Hey guys, I'm just going to hop in here for 1 second. I've been streaming on YouTube. I just want to see if there are any members still on YouTube that can't get into the room. Please put it in the chat. Let us know. I'm going to shut it down soon if there are not. So I think the site is up and running pretty well now. So just let us know if you can't get in. Thanks.
Pretty good sized bid on BYND at 116.
Yeah, I saw that. Looks like it's maybe going to lose that, eh? Came back down. It's there now.
Yeah, new daily low. It's got a pre-market kind of like sell-off area around like I want to see what it does at 116. There's a big bid sitting there. I want to see if they're getting in, or if it's
if they're gonna crush it. It looks SPY is coming back. MMeds, there's stuff on the side
SPY.
here. Looks interesting. Or meds.
Hey Ryan, sorry to hear that. I had that yesterday in the morning. I couldn't get filled on anything. Today I was already carrying a pre-market position on BYND, so I didn't take an opening trade, so I didn't get to see the lag there. But
yeah, there goes BYND. We're not too keen on shorting it. And NEO is selling off quite a bit.
it went right through that big set of orders at 116.
Yeah. NEO's down to S3 support level. Just keeping an eye on NEO right now. Whew. Still sinking. NEO will come back. There's no question. It's just a matter of where it's going to find a bottom here. SPY rolling over again here a little bit.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut down YouTube. It looks like everybody that was over there is able to get back in. So take care.
Excellent.
Take
Nice.
care, guys, and hopefully we don't have
Great.
any more issues.
Yeah. Still keep